Hey mommies, friends and family, Dumelang, welcome back to the channel. My name is Puseleso, and you know what? I'm currently in Gowishingville. And Lagwa Gowishingville Guningi. So one thing I usually do when I'm gowishing is that I mind other people's business. I go on TikTok, I scroll, I go on Facebook groups, and I just read about other people's problems because for whatever reason it helps me feel better. So I thought, let me share those people's problems with you because I'm struggling to vlog. I'm just like not having the right energy. So I thought for the next couple of days or however long it takes me, I'm going to share other people's problems, okay? And I found two problems that I'm ready to share with you today. So let's drink to minding other people's businesses. If you pay too much attention to your own problems, you won't want to wake up in the morning. Like, so let's start. I have two problems I'm going to share with you today. The first one says, my husband sets me up. Let's read. Grab your drink, sit back, mamela. There is this man who had been chatting with me. The man is handsome and rich. He began showering me with nice messages and slowly graduated to gifts. We hadn't met, but finally we met and I liked him more. Slowly we began planning a romantic hangout, and finally we booked a hotel out of town. I took myself there one weekend. I had lied to my husband that I was going to visit a cousin of mine who lives there. We got to the hotel and went to the room. We showered and we got to bed. However, just as we began having romance, the door got banged so hard the man seemed scared but went to open the door. My husband came inside and found me naked. He said, "Now I have proven that you aren't faithful to me." He said it was all set up to try me since he has always been suspecting me that I would cheat if given the chance. The man admitted he was hired to try me. He dressed up and both my husband and him left. I felt so ashamed of myself. I went to my mom's house but didn't tell her anything. So who is to be blamed? The husband or the wife? The husband. I find to be something that's very similar to when people say, but why did you go through his phone? You know, it's that vibe. It's giving me that vibe. Yeah, when a woman goes through a man's phone and then they find something on the man's phone, all of a sudden the man changes the story and she's like, why were you going through my phone? And all of a sudden you are the wrong one for going through the guy's phone. So for me, it's the same vibe. Why were you testing her? You found what you wanted. You started the problem, not her. Also, you set her up. You know what? Perhaps if he was doing exactly what he hired the other man to do, and they were doing the same things at the same time, when he was gifting, when the hired guy was gifting wife, he must also gift. When the hired guy says let's go out and they book the same weekend, he must also say I want to book. And then we see who she chooses, and then from there we can say, okay, she went for this one instead of hubby, so now we can blame her. But in this case, honestly, hubby is wrong. Baby, go back and apologize to your husband. He's gonna take you back. Tell him never to do that to you again. He must stop setting traps for you because you're a human being. You make mistakes. You get tempted to, like, what the hell? And also, if he can do something like that, okay, next problem. This is how I made my crush shit on himself for using me. I actually read this one yesterday, but I didn't finish it because I was like, I need to say this in front of the camera. Okay. I have always been insecure about myself as a child. I never believed that I am beautiful enough, so whenever a guy approached me, I would hold on to the relationship with my dear life. I was smart at school, so boys only used me to do their schoolwork. They would just flirt with me and play me for a fool, whilst it was only schoolwork that they wanted. I got used to it in high school, and my grandmother told me to wait until I'm in varsity. Then she will set an example with the first guy that tries to take advantage of me. Varsity came, and on my final year, this guy, who was every girl's crush, approached me. He asked me to help him with some research we had to do. He was all lovey-dovey, but I could see his friends holding back their laughs. A memory from a distant past came rushing. That very same weekend I traveled home. I explained everything to my grandmother, and she put stuff in my lotion and some liquid in my toothpaste. She asked for his picture. I had to go download his Facebook profile picture and give it to her. I wrote his names and surname at the back of the picture. My grandmother couldn't read nor write, so I had to write. I was instructed to put on the lotion and brush my teeth and not talk to anyone besides him first. Then take his research and put it inside my underwear drawer before giving it back to him. I went and did exactly that. Lucky for me, I didn't have a lot of friends at school. I was a loner. I wasn't cool enough to have friends according to my physical appearance. I had one friend whom I ignored so much that day, rushing to the guy with his paper in my head. He didn't even say thank you. He took it and ran after some girl he must have liked. I felt like crying, but I held myself together. Then I called my grandmother. Yeah, I think this is where I ended. So let's unravel the story together. She asked me to run back my room and stay naked. She said she had cow dung in my bag in a plastic. She said I must take that cow dung and put it on the floor. Next to it should be a picture of the guy, even if it's on the phone, and blow air at the cow dung, calling the guy's name until I feel dizzy. She said I should call her before I start, and I rushed back and did exactly that. Then she said she will also be dealing with him on the other side. Fine, I got down to it and so did it. I got dizzy and I passed out. The guy ignored me for about 2 weeks, and after that he stopped coming to school. I heard from people that he soiled on himself twice at school now. He is embarrassed to come back to school. I called my grandmother and she said, good. Now you can call him and you will soon be the only person he is not embarrassed to hang with. Then he will be yours. Every time he is with me, he would be fine. When he tries to act cool again and act like I'm not good enough for him, he would mess on his cool self. Eventually he realized he needs me because I'd give him a glass of water and lie to him and say it's from my church. And he would drink it and be fine until he decides I'm no longer of use. What he didn't know was that it was just pure water and he didn't even need it. All he needed was to have me in his life and he would be fine. We are now engaged with 2 kids and we're doing very well. He still soils on himself if he tries to play me. My grandmother just wanted me to be happy. I was tired of being used, as I have no regrets. I was tired of being used, so I have no regrets. He's going to be your husband. Did she say they have 2 kids? She did. This one is for the boys. The boys! Stop playing with girls. Stop using girls. You don't know their grandmothers. You don't know their capabilities. He still swears on himself. And every time he tries... Look, girl. This grandmother said, no granddaughter of mine is going to struggle, suffer or cry while I'm still alive, and I can do something about it. Look, Gogo. She's a keeper. Yeah, no, she took it far, but you know what? I think we need to be careful what we do to other people. And when you're young, you may not see it as a problem. I don't know how to explain this, but it's so important to not play with people's lives, because we don't know what people pray, which gods they serve. We don't know who they share their life experiences with, their hurt, their pain with, and what those people are willing to do to help the people that are close to them when they're suffering. I cannot say lokoko right ne ngamvuma, but it's not that right, but I think we live in a world where people take other people's lives for granted, where people think they can just do things, they can just hurt people. Like, people no longer have a conscience, you know. And it starts at a young age, and then a person grows up with it. By the time you're in varsity, guys, you are wise enough, or you should be wise enough. You should be sensitive enough, and you should have a level inside of you that actually cares about the next person, and you're not just caring for you only. And the minute you do something to hurt somebody else, do you really think that it's not going to come back to you? So this is to the guys who play with girls' feelings. If you don't like the girlie, stop playing with her. Stop it. It's because you don't know ukuthi bahamba nani. You don't know what they carry. You don't know who's carrying them. And you might think you are carrying, but you won't know. Look, now he's engaged to her. He doesn't know. He probably might not ever know that the reason he soils himself is because of this girl. Just be cautious out there, guys. Be cautious more than anything with your tongues and what you say to people, because you don't know. Story number 1, guy is wrong. Story number 2, guy is wrong. I think it's obvious. I think wrong in this world. But in both stories, I feel like the guys are able to twist it and say the girls are wrong. Who do you think are the people that are wrong in these incidences? Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If I find something else interesting, I'll catch you tomorrow. Shabne, bye.